The O Cannabis Conference and Expo returns to Toronto June 1st through the 3rd, and there's still some good booth locations available. This exciting event is free for cannabis retailers and will feature Tommy Chong receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the O Cannabis Industry Awards. For more information about exhibiting or to register to attend, go to ocannabis.com. That's OCANNABIZ.com.
All right, we are live for our fourth sesh for the Chronic Club. This is a mystery box where I hand deliver a package once a month to our members of the mystery box or the Chronic Club, which happens to be Baked and Awake. That's Steve Kaminsky, and then Mike Schroeder of the Aging Ent, and then Miggy of Cannabis Legalization News. The four of us have a podcast, and I hand deliver these products once a month. They have no idea what they're getting. This month happens to be GＡBRIEL. So we got some concentrates in the house. Medley is what we've got. So let's bring on a couple of the folks here. We've got Steve, Michael, Baked and Awake, Aging Ent. You guys, thanks for a fourth sesh. Can you believe we've made it 4 months already?
I can. It's gone fast. I barely knew we were doing it this morning. As you know, I almost forgot. So
well, Miggy did forget. He just woke up, so he's going to join us in about a half hour after he puts on some beauty, whatever he does when he gets up. What's you guys' preferred method for concentrates? I know that it seems a little bit, involved for some folks, right? I know the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially in the early days.
Yeah. Steve, start us off. What do you got? What's your rig? What's your method of choice?
Today I'm using a very simple and fun. Look at my virtual background trying to happen now. See, it's secretly here. Woo. Okay, that's great. Because my glass is green, the virtual background, which is trying to tell us all that I'm baked and awake. Yo, can't see it, but this is a 3D printed bong unit from somebody, I think Puff Pass or something, Print Puff Pass. And my wife got it for me for my birthday, and I like it because I can use a mason jar and put ice cubes in it, and it takes standard fluted, glass quartz pieces, both the receptacle and interchangeable bangers. So it's pretty much, even if you do manage to damage the important part, you just go down to the local corner store and get a freshie, right? So you can stay rocking. So that's what's up. And I do like textures such as what we have today. We'll probably get to that, versus things like shatter, which formerly we all probably dabbed a lot of at one point in time or another. I'm not as big of a fan of shatter these days, simply because of losing some of it. Sometimes it literally explodes on you and goes flying.
It cost me $700 to pump my dog's stomach when they ate the shatter off my garage floor a year later. So I hadn't dabbed in my garage for a year, and then I bought puppies, and then they're in my garage sniffing around. Next thing you know, they're drooling and wobbling. I'm like, yo, you two kids look stoned.
Oh my.
They were stoned as hell. It cost me $700 each. And normally I would let the dogs ride that out, right? But
sure.
At that young of an age, they were maybe 2-3 months old, and you can get seizures and a lot of issues. And
they were in for it. They were in for it at that point. They were already going to have a rough ride. You needed to mitigate.
Yeah. However, my vet was funny though. My vet was just saying he was going to give them Doritos and play Bob Marley, and they would be fine. Yeah, he says he sees a lot of it. I was kind of surprised I guess not too surprised, but he says he sees a ton more now that it's, regulated here in Washington, that a lot of animals are getting into concentrate and edibles.
Sure. Well, I had a dog a long time ago that really liked to eat my cigarette packs back in my cigarette smoking days.
Oh, that's rough, man.
Yeah,
when they puke that up, it's really, really gross.
Yeah.
It's vile stuff.
Yeah, I never let her, get too far, but it was one of those things where if I fell asleep and left the cigs in my pocket, in my pants pocket, laying on the floor, she was going in that pocket, and I was going to wake up to Marlboro lights all over my bedroom floor. You know what I mean? Just
all right, enough talky, Steve. This smells delicious.
Yes, I do need a dabby. You're right.
Michael, what's your method of choice?
Quartz banger. Actually, this rig, I've had this rig since 2017, and it has traveled all over with me. I bought, I'd say probably $5 to $6 grand in glass that deal prices from friends. and I've lost it, dropped it, somebody stole it, something like that. But this rig has been around forever, traveled across the country a few times with me. Like, it's my favorite rig. But quartz banger, I've just started using these larger bucket styles, and I kind of like them because they'll retain heat forever. And I can go in like really, really cool, and it'll still get a lot of heat surface. So
nice.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
That's some heady glass right there.
Yeah. This
even
is
even that little guy.
Yeah, this little guy was blown at the Northwest Cannabis Club. RIP. I'll be a crow forever. But they had a night and somebody blew it, and I was like, "Fucking A, dude, let me get that." And we were homies for like 2 years, so it's my favorite way. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that place. That was Portland, one of Portland's first cannabis cafes.
Yeah, I never made it. I knew about it, and I had time to go, and I was even traveling down that direction for a while. Could have done it.
It was the 198th member down there, so I got in there about 2015 and held a lot of events there when I was doing catering and event planning. So that place definitely supported a lot of us early on, for sure.
If you guys see me clicking for a moment, I'm trying to turn off.
And in fact, I got a lot of veterans super baked down there. There was 22 Too Many and a couple other veteran groups down there. And so I would bring the Vape Exhale. That's my method of choice for concentrates, by the way. So this little method here.
Look at that thing.
That looks nice.
That's that future weed right there.
Yeah, you've got a couple of options here. So you can put this glass thing on top here and use that. But I like the water feature. So there's some water in here.
Nice.
Oh, dude, that is a great. So it's an e-nail type setup.
Yeah.
But so no nail, all glass, all quartz. I love it.
Right. So that's what I'll be smoking out of. That's my method of choice.
Is it a vape or an e-nail?
I think. Well, so it has. It's both, I guess, because you can use flour in here too. There's these mesh things for flour you can put in, but mostly I just use this, or actually exclusively I use this for concentrate.
It's whatever you need.
I don't know what's the difference between an e-nail and a vape. I guess
So an e-nail generally would have like metal around the outside of a nail, and it's hooked up directly to a power converter. Usually, it looks like a little guitar amp kind of thing. Basically, just power conversion into the wires, as opposed to a box that heats up a chamber electronically. Usually, that chamber's plastic with wires and shit, or a little tin, whatever it is. I don't know, titanium, little bucket as well as possible. But yeah, I guess it's like external or internal, right?
I guess.
Oh, let's get the bastard gas going.
There we go.
Oh, go. Sorry, I only have propane. I was gonna go. I'm out of butane. I was gonna go whichever fuel was most prominent, use the opposite, and make a joke about it. But I forgot. I'm out of butane. I only have propane too. So
using MAP gas there instead of propane?
No, this is just propane. I wish I had MAP. This would be done a whole lot quicker because this is a long process for me with this rig. So I didn't mention the type of concentrate I like, and neither did you really too much, especially you say you don't like shatter as much. This is a really good texture. Spot on with Steve. This is like as good of a texture as we could get in a mystery box.
And it smells delicious.
Oh yeah. What you picking up out of it?
I mean, I picked this up, or it was actually recommended by Nate at Kush Klub in Shoreline. I was going golfing right there at the Nile golf course, and went over and I was picking up just a vape. What am I trying to say? A cartridge. Jesus, English is hard this morning. So I was just going for a cartridge, and then Nate showed me. I was asking anything new, neat, or niche that they had at Kush Klub there. And he pulls up GΑBRIEL, which I'm familiar with. I think they're high-end concentrates. I think they do really, really a good job. This is a $52 gram, but
I was about to say they're certainly proud of their stuff. Last I checked, so
yeah,
they're calling them free.
So you can get this particular medley for $30 online. I got it for $25. Got a little bit of a discount, whatever. So I think they marked this off for Black Friday. And they're just going to get rid of this particular medley that they have. But the other packs or the other grams that they have for GABRIEL are $52.
Can I throw in on the business side of that how fucking beautiful that is to me for a small business like GΑBRIEL to just be like, hey, how are we going to get more people using our product, enjoying our stuff, and knowing who we are? Let's take all the ends, call it medley, and it'll be delicious and great, and we'll put it out for a cheaper price. And here we are. Because
it's all the same standards. Yeah. Oh, it looks like Miggy's in the chat. I'm about to dab.
Thanks for joining us, Miggy. Boom.
Oh, look at that. God damn. That was great. I'm still...
What up, dude? So at least you know that we're not full of shit. I mean, we're live. Oh, that tastes good.
Miggy, what's your preferred method of choice for dabbing? How do you usually dab? What's your rig?
Well, dude, I like to eat ales at events. This is my kid. I don't even dab. Like, the kids always have a rig. And I just I like vape pens. I like pens. You know, that was during the washing time when dabbing became big. That's where I got into, like, I have a Vuber where you take a little bit of concentrate and put it into the little thing, and then I could use a toke on that in my travels all day. So, yeah, Vuber.
I forgot about those portable pens that you would have where you would put a little bit of dab in the pen and then hit it. Way back in the day.
That's how it would hold like 2 grams of concentrates, man. It was crazy.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
But see, for me, they were good for like on the road. So I would be in the hotels and shit. And, you know, you could smoke inside.
That was good.
Pens definitely have really opened up a lot of possibilities for like decorative and low like consumption. You know, it makes it really a lot more possible to enjoy stuff during the daytime and not like return from a smoke break smelling like Bob Marley. Your coworkers will be sure to observe that kind of thing.
It doesn't take 40 minutes, you know. Yep. I mean, when I roll, if I'm smoking a big fat joint like this, I need time, and that's the kind of size of joint I have.
Yep.
So,
100%, and you're gonna smell like it afterward.
Which I'm sure.
I'd just like to point out that I haven't had a dab in like over a month, and that was a big one ish. You know, it wasn't that gnarly, but it was a good sized dab. I haven't touched anything but flower in like 6 or 7 weeks. I don't even know. And gosh, I sure like dabs. I miss them.
Michael, you could probably answer to this though, because like there's etiquette dabs, right? Cold dabs, hot dabs, like heat preferences. Like
mine was too hot right now. I didn't do my countdown properly, and that's why I died after I dabbed it. You know, if I do it right, I can take any size dab and hardly ever cough. You know, if you have a decent concentrate, you know, you guys saw me. I do the heat up and let it cool down method. I haven't really done much of the cold dabs, like bringing it up from cold, like literally throwing the concentrate in and bringing it up.
I've tried it a bunch, and every single time, it ends up tasting like soy sauce. It's fucking gross. Like the burn off that. I'm not in for it, dude. Because like something's happening in that buildup of heat that I'm not a fan of. I'd rather wait a minute in 10 seconds, but
I've got this little dial. I wish it was more digital, and maybe this model from 2015 is old, but it doesn't really tell you what the temp is. But it is fairly, I wouldn't say accurate, but it's nice that it's adjustable. So I just put this at 12 o'clock, and then, you know, that's not too hot of a dab, whereas a lot of people will go to like 700 degrees all the way to the right, just crank that. Not
if
a fan.
I die, it's gonna be a challenge.
All right. So we kind of talked a little bit about crumble or shatter, that is, and why we don't like shatter, because we're frugal. The shit goes everywhere. It breaks apart. Your puppies eat it. It costs you $700 to pump their stomach. It's not a fun time. Yeah.
It's a healthy dab.
Whereas this stuff, what is this called? Is this crumble?
No, this would be like a sugar. This would be like a turf sugar, maybe. This might be considered, they're calling it diamonds. That's right. They're calling this a Diamond Medley. So they're itty bitty THCA diamonds in a goopy sauce, which is mostly terpenes, but also might have some like wetter cannabinoids.
Right. So ostensibly, I think we've been all led down the path of, stuff like this if you want the flavor, right? The wetter, as you just pointed out, and or the fresher, some of the live resin might be where you go to get a bit more of an intact, plant influence experience. I was going to say the only texture I like maybe better than this is like the waxes that were really popular right before this, that we still see some of and get some of, it just depends on who's making the stuff. And I think that's also, partially the plant and partially the cool down process. I haven't been, I haven't worked with that many extractors and been that deeply hooked in with the differences between the way we end up with this versus the way we end up with a wax versus the way we end up with a shatter, that I could sit here and authoritatively talk about it. But I was going to ask you guys, I know we originally all got shatter for the longest time the most. Wasn't that because that was where the technique was at and the technology at that point in time? Like we didn't know how to make, the industry didn't know how to give us this yet.
That's 100% it.
Josh, you recognize this shirt?
Yo, yeah.
It's like
I do. I know.
it's a Washington shirt of some.
Northwest Cannabis Classic. It was in Tacoma, August
No,
29th and
the club.
30th of 2015. Oh, that's the club?
Market.
Yeah, the Northwest Cannabis Club in the White Center.
That's right.
Market, which is
Yeah.
was initially
That's
same
There
as
we
Mike
go.
Keyser. Mike Keyser's a fucking legend. He is he's facilitated so much relationship.
That's one of the pre-502 medical markets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And-
evolved into the Northwest Cannabis Club, which we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Well, like you were saying, though, there was very limited variety when it came to concentrates. Rick Simpson, I think, made everybody's brain re-stir, going, "Oh shit, we can do more things with this thing besides, hash." And I mean, God, have you guys smoked crystals, like little CBD crystals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell of expensive, long process, but really not a lot of anything. You're just kind of like, oh, great.
I mean,
Right.
for
I've had like some THCA products like that are like ultra one-dimensional, purity off the charts, of course, which is cool from that standpoint. But I haven't had a lot of them. I haven't seen the CBD stuff like that. Why wouldn't there be? Of course there is.
But we've come a long way, though. I mean, I think in the future it's going to be a matter of like, when you do a dab or something like this, it's going to be like a cocktail. You're going to be like, you know what, I want 20% THC and 60% CBD, because in the end, entourage effect, all that stuff, I mean, you're better off when it's all together. And most people think, wow, you're just smoking it just for
I
the
already
THC.
do that though. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way to operate that. But man, there's a vape shop nearby me where you'll never know, Steve. No, just if there's a vape shop off of I-5 here, and they have CBD with terpenes in it for like $40, like a gram of just CBD rocks, 99.9% purity, and terpenes on top, and it's federally legal. These have CBD.
So something to get.
Yeah. So, but it concentrates. It's like it's weird when you see it, because you're like, shit. There's a lot of things that could be in that gas station vape shop CBD.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
I just I don't know what else it could be though. That no one's out there cranking out meth and then selling it as CBD.
Good.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
Right?
Good point. I want it to be the case.
Yeah.
I want, we've talked about that before in terms of accessibility and where I think it needs to be for people. And if the gas station CBD isn't going to kill us, and it's also not straight placebo, powdered sugar of some kind that we can vape somehow, then
Steve, I'm going to reel this back in to the product and talk speak appearance.
Fucking
Speaking of
stoners. We could have
season.
gone off on some weird tangents there, man. Good
Well,
job.
it worked, right? It's good. We're dabbed. We're dabbed on one.
So we've got 7 criteria that we're going to judge on, and we're going to rate these. Full point, you can give it a full 1 point or anywhere in between. We'll do a 1/10 of a point, 1/4 of a point, half point, whatever. But ultimately, we're going to judge these based on these 7 criteria, starting with appearance. So, Miggy, you've had all of 20 minutes being awake and seeing the product. What's your take when you're looking at GΑBRIEL's Medley when you first look at it?
I really enjoyed packaging. Like when I opened that bag that you left for me, and I saw this little sparkly little cube, that was cool. And then when I opened it up, the presence of the shatter itself was just beautiful. So yeah, I'd give them a point.
Okay. All right, Miggy's going to give him a full point for appearance. Steve.
Yeah, I haven't had this brand in a while. I think I've bought more of their flower than anything in the past. It's a nice looking product, and it looks good when you look at it closer. We're all showing it on a screen, but yeah, full point. It's great. It looks clean. It emanates freshness and happiness when you open the jar. So,
all right, Michael, I think out of all of us, you're probably the biggest dab head.
Yeah, I've got a lot of products. Yeah,
that's your preferred method of choice, and you've hit a lot of concentrates. So, what's your take on the appearance?
We'll get to packaging later, right? But when I did open the box, I was like, "Ooh, good choice." Oh yeah. But no, the look on this is gorgeous, man. I mean, they're calling them diamonds, Diamond Medley. That's a stretch. It's like a sugar, but that's cool too. They're itty bitty diamonds. But
there you go. Diamond dust.
They sparkle like hell. They're just gorgeous. Like I tried showing it off earlier. Let's see if this will pick it up well enough. But it won't focus close enough in. But yeah, it's pretty stuff. They're getting 0.8 points because I expected diamonds. They get 0.8
in the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm gonna, when I look at it, I thought the orange reminded me a lot of citrus. We'll get to the scent later, but visually it looked good. It's not black, right? So that's good. We don't have to deal with that. It looks a lot like caviar, and since it's not shatter, I like it. Very easy to handle, but the appearance overall looks good. I'm going to give them a full point.
It looks better in the jar than it does out, even which is not normally how concentrates are. But I mean, just together they move nicely, and so it's really pretty stuff, actually. Yeah, but I expected diamonds. Yours looks much lighter, Miggy. I don't know if it's different lighting, but you seem about toned right for your stuff. Mine is a bit oranger than yours, I think. Definitely more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
Aroma. Let's move on to aroma. What do you guys think? You guys busted out the package, you took a look at it, and then you smelled it. What'd you think?
Smells good. I had that dabby. You're like, all right, I'm about to do some dabs. Like this.
Yep.
When you want to smell dabs, is it?
And did it meet your needs at full point? Okay.
Yeah. Being the non-dabber, I mean, this pretty much brings back market memory. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Back to the shirt.
Yeah.
Steve, how are you gonna rank the aroma?
Well, I can smell it, which is always a point in anything's favor when it's something like this. I don't think of myself as having the best nose, especially compared to some people. So I'm certainly not like an aromatic sommelier who can really wax poetic about nuanced things that I'm picking up on. Like I say, it smells good, and when something hits me, it makes me happy. That's why I like strains like Dutch Treat. A nice aromatic, top note, obvious bouquet type flower. Hit me with anything like that some people might call a lot, I barely perceive. So anyway, full point on aroma. I'm a little stoned, so I'm gonna give it
I appreciate that bow tie. Michael, aroma.
I like it. It's fresh. It's oily. You know, like Mickey said, you smell it. You're like, fuck yeah. Whoa, I'm gonna get down on it. You know, it's not very strong. It's definitely like a little light smelling, but it's nice. I don't know what the hell what to pick out of it, but it's definitely good Earl. I like it.
Well, and it's a medley, right? It's a medley, right? Maybe it doesn't, have the same.
Maybe that's why it has that whole like traditional kind of smell to it too, because it's all the oils together, Yeah, I'm gonna go for like just because it's not strong. I'm giving them a 0.8 on this too, because it's not very strong, not quite a full point.
Okay.
But a little bit more robustness.
All right. That moves us on to the number 3rd criteria, which is taste. Back to you, Miggy. What did it taste like?
It tastes great. Let's feel it. I keep going back for more. So, I mean, as asthmatic, if it was a shitty dab, I wouldn't be going back to the concentrate. But it's hitting right. It's doing right. Ouch. It's definitely hitting right. Oh my god.
Steve, taste.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I probably could have let my dab cool down the slightest bit more. And in fact, like you guys can observe it. I had a clean banger before I dabbed. So I left some on the table in there and it was hot. So not my finest moment because I'm not dabbing every morning right now. I'm not, on my rhythm with this rig or anything even properly. And we're hanging out, right? So I'm doing everything.
Right, you got to get that shit dialed in when you do it. Like it takes like 8 minutes in, and you're like, well, same thing with a new banger. Like you'll burn the first 5 hits off it, and you're like, fuck, man.
Absolutely, every banger's a little different. Every rig's a little different, right? We're also all a little different in our, what we're going to put on the end of the dabber.
And what you want out too, yeah, I'm 100% in agreement with you, Steve. For sure.
You mentioned a minute and 10 cool down on your big bucket. I'm timing in at a 45 to 50 second cool down on bangers just like this, which I've been using for the last 3 or 4 years, like right about exactly this size and this shape, this or the angled banger of the same type. Nothing fancy. Anyway, so it tasted good. We'll get into the type of high in a moment. But the funny thing is I don't want it to leave behind a lot of flavor in my mouth either. I coughed, I recovered. That was good. And it didn't leave behind a weird bad taste. I'll probably get to enjoy my next dab a little more if I just cool it down a little bit and maybe taste even more of what this wax has to offer. So given that, I'll give it like a full point again on taste.
Michael, how'd it taste? What do you give it?
It tasted like it smelled, but they're only getting a 0.8 because it was so fucking mellow. So mellow, Actually, I strike that. They're getting a 0.6 on it because the flavor was pretty mellow for what it could have been. There wasn't anything that hit. There was no terpenes that came through. It was just Earl, which is good. It's delicious and tasty. I'm not saying that it wasn't tasty, but the fact is I want something to be robust. I want there to be some note that sticks out, or else it's just it's soup. Not delicious soup. Yeah.
For me, like I said, I thought it looked tangy, looked orange. It smelled of citrus and just like these bright. I was looking forward to tasting it, and I don't really feel like anything was there. I didn't have any orange or citrus at all, which I thought was disappointing. So I'm going to give him half a point. Yeah. All right. Next on the list, number 4 is strength and effect. So we've all been
just fucking a point each. We all put it a point.
Yeah, that should be probably a push on that, right?
Dude, I'm crying here. Yeah, give me the whole point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Cool. Cure, is this an appropriate category for this? I know we've argued that in the past.
When was this harvested?
What about texture? What about texture is the cure? What do you guys get out of this? We talked a little bit about stuff, but
well, couldn't cure also be like purge, you know, like how it's processed. I thought it tastes great. It hits every time I'm coughing. You know, when you get that second taste, you know, it's like oh, that was definitely concentrate. Like, oh, that was definitely concentrate. Oh, that was some good turkey. I think what was that taste? You know, that's what I'm going through with these guys. So yeah,
Nice.
tastes good.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it was treated well. I'm with you on that, Mickey. Sorry to jump in out of order, but yeah, for sure it was treated well. There's no like weird aftertastes, none of that. This was not CRC either, I don't think, which is color remediation column. It's basically pushing it through some filtration media to pull colors out. Yeah, it doesn't always awesome, but this is definitely not that.
What about you, Steve? Oh, dude.
I wasn't sure. I was just thinking, guys, that so I noticed we got a manufacture date of August 25th of this year.
Oh, right.
For whatever that's worth. So that's pretty nice. Just we know it's pretty darn fresh overall. This is December, but you know, I was thinking that most of the curing process is that, you know, purging and how it initially is set up and what it turns into in its bulk form, and whether that's the product that they wanted or not from step one. But again, who really cares? We know that people can go a lot of different directions with the concentrate on its way to this jar and state for us without it being, you know, forgive my French, effed up along the way. So,
oh, fuck, we're not supposed to swear?
yeah. I'm a mess anyway. I always do it, and then I always try not to do it, and I do it anyway. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I'd say full point on cure for sure, because it just seems like I'm perfectly happy receiving a product from these guys that looks like this, that's been sealed up for a couple months and was made, you know, back at the end of summer. You know, they made jillions of grams of it and have been working their way out with it since then. You know, we know how that works. So it's awesome. Full point. Yeah.
So can I jump in on a thing that I saw right before? So there is 3 different producer processors listed on this label.
Interesting.
Oh, no, wait. Where did you purchase this? At Kush Klub?
Yeah, that's the retail.
So there we go. That's that.
Yeah.
So Alpenglow Extracts is the extractor apparently for getting Alpenglow.
There we go.
Don't know.
Yeah, I see it there. Northwest Extracts. Yeah, or Alpenglow Extracts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gabriel's the name of the line?
That's the flower company. They grow the flower, and they grow like super primo flower. Yeah, that's all I've really had of their products.
Nice.
There we go. Agree. I've had flower from them before, not concentrate. So that makes sense. That's great.
Yeah, this is a really good pickup. Do we have other categories we're talking about? Yeah.
Quality and care. Miggy, I'm gonna.
That's probably it's you know, it's gonna go back to the cure process when you go to quality and care, because at least with flower, you're like, there's this beautiful plant, you can see the end product. With this concentrate, there's this beautiful looking. I mean, I do like, you know, some like 710 porn. I mean, you get this beautiful product that's been processed and manufactured through, you know, it used to be a plant, and like shatter. You ever see a whole pizza shatter? I mean, it's something that's amazing just to see. Like, you're like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool. So I think that's what quality and quick care and cure. You're going to have the end product itself, which is going to be that, you know, I see those diamonds or I don't see those diamonds, or it's slushy or whatever it is. You're like, you know, this is 100% plant. It's just good shit. So yeah, I get the whole point.
All right. Michael, quality and care.
I can tell from dabbing this that it was in glass its whole life. It was not on parchment, wasn't laying out on silicone for hours and hours and days while it was curing. This was glass to vac to glass. And that's an important thing. Like, you can just fucking tell it did that. Even at the flower stage, I would bet I would bet every buddy here a gram of flour, if I'm wrong. They cure in glass with their flour. They fucking have to. They to get the quality to get on their flour. So this product, care is like part of their brand. So I believe that this was treated well all along the way.
Steve.
Yeah, I think it's really got to be the same as with Miggy's vote on this. I think quality and care in this case is kind of evidenced by what we just talked about with the cure and stuff before that. So I can't do other probably in this case than award him a full point. It's
Oh yeah.
well, yeah, no, I have been and remain, but this is what you get these days with these better companies for concentrates, and this is why the legal markets, are so wonderful in a lot of ways, for all their faults, in whatever ways that people might critique them, like however.
There's
so
a lot of ways for people like me to critique
so
that.
It's a ridiculous and amazing thing that we can even sit here and enjoy these together, and stuff of this quality is accessible, and even at GＡBRIEL's full asking price for some of their premium stuff, it's also obtainable for a lot of people, especially if they're just working it in occasionally with their more economical dabs as well.
Yeah.
So looking good. Yeah, full point. Full point on that, Josh. Got to go.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give him a 0.9, just 9/10 of a full point, simply because I really wanted that flavor to come through what I was smelling.
That's fair, but I think Steve's point totally answers that this is medley, and but I see both sides of it, because taste was not a big point for me. Yeah, I was pretty close to knocking it, but they did good. Yeah.
No.
I'd like to add, this is my first smoke of the day, but I can't wait to mix it with my other drug of coffee. So this high and the coffee is going to be an amazing day.
Yeah.
I too woke up a bit late and had to put together audio stuff, and I'm one cup of coffee that was not a great cup because I poured it fast. Coffee is life. Steve, you drink coffee, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. I know Josh does.
Yeah.
Actually, I quit coffee in May.
Okay. Wow.
Went cold turkey. So.
And you're still doing that?
Yeah.
Do you drink tea or mushroom blends, or what are you doing?
I wake up with an emergency and drink, 1 or 2 thousand units of vitamin C, and then I'll drink tea after that.
Does that have what is the one that makes you flush? Niacin?
You used to really
niacin in the emergency? No. Okay.
I haven't had
that.
All right, we're moving on to the 7th and final criteria here for judging GABRIEL. Let's see here, the medley, brand and package. So, Biggie, what are you going to judge GABRIEL for their medley concentrate?
I really enjoyed the design, man. The art. Like I said, I really was like, hey, that's a lovely package. If I got this in a stocking stuffer, I'm stoked. Right away, you're stoked. You don't even care what's inside of it. You're like, holy shit, it's weed stuff.
There you
So yeah, full point.
Yeah. Michael.
Oh yeah. How can you not love this? This packaging's great. They've got a signature look, beautiful art, looks pretty, sits on a shelf nicely. Consumers' eyes drawn to it. I'm gonna and I can see through the bottom what it's gonna look like. That's a big deal too.
I didn't notice that.
Full point.
So, but guys, I hate to be a dissenting voice here. I think history will show I've been kind of hard on packaging already a few times, but darn it, I left the little cup that it sits inside the box downstairs because I was excited that it was dabs, so I kind of ripped into it like a kid. But here's the thing, guys. It's just, to me, there's a lot of other concentrates out there, cheaper stuff that's in clear packaging, y'all, that I can see the whole gram from all sides. And when I'm looking at, 6 of them in the case on the shelf next to each other, sometimes I can even point at the one I want and have the illusion of choice that way from the corner store too, and say, give me that heavy one. Because we all know that a lot of that, there's a little variance in those little jars that goes out. Okay, we've all
I can't stress on that shit, dude. There's no way.
No,
much weed for that.
So here's the thing, though. GABRIEL is trying to appeal to people and get new customers and train them up for their $50 grams of everything, for their premium, for their nug run, and for their limited run and their special drops. And like for $35 a gram on a deal, I would love to see it before I buy it. And this doesn't really, to me, that in the bottom of the package, not as much as some.
That's fair input.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, you could go buy Slab Mechanics right now in a little stupid bag, but the shit is clear and easy to see, and people buy it for $17 or whatever. I'm saying everything out there is more visible than this box. I can't name a brand.
Well, that's part of the whole premium shit, right? You're buying the name.
So, anyway, I'm giving them like 0.7 on that, and that's the only knock I've given them the whole visit. And I don't think it's unfair. I just can't see the weed.
No. Yeah, it's a good point. I also think it's also a strong flex when you're like saying, like, this little circle that you can view, no matter what you see, is always going to be the quality of the product. So maybe they have good quality assurance, and it's always going to be consistent.
That price, they only get one chance too, right? Like,
that's it.
Not go back for $50 a gram. Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're all different buyers too. That's what's interesting, is hearing these different perspectives on the same idea.
So, they look like they're going for a high-end look. Here's just a simple black and white logo, straight lines, and then you've got the curvature to kind of go against that. On the side, it kind of looks like they're looking for some kind of luxury, not necessarily Louis Vuitton look, but I've seen Louis purses that look like that.
That's definitely branding, yeah.
Yeah. Well, each one looks different, right? So I think that the reason why they gave this packaging specifically is this is a bunch of their different art colors on their main packaging boxes. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we go get this super lemon diesel right here, and then they have their so they put them all together on this one for us to see, right? Josh, when you were shopping for this, did they have other GABRIEL products that were like solid in their color, right? Or did they also have interesting weird art?
I didn't look at all of them, but I think they had at least the front was different. And so the front kind of looks like the sides as well. So it's probably different packaging for each one, I'm guessing.
I was just checking to see if they got back to me. I hit up GABRIEL to see if they do their bud curing in glass jars, just because. It'd be nice to know, see if it is actually glass to glass all its life.
All the way down.
So where are we at overall now? Are we at the end?
Yeah, packaging.
All right. So overall, it's 6 out of 7 leaves. That's an 86%. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell Josh is stoned. He had a little slower, just a little more concise, like precision. Like this is where it counts right now.
People want to know. That's what they want to know. There we go. I mean, I had to go after their packaging only because otherwise I would have given up I would have given them full points on everything. That's not allowed, is it? It's not allowed.
It's happened. It's happened.
Yeah. I mean, there's good shit out there. We gotta give credit's due, and then call those shit when it's shit. But this is a good ride.
It's a pretty box, but it's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I saved all my packaging for almost 5 years.
Yeah, that's not
cannabis buying, and I had totes of it and shit, and I flattened them all out, and they were all sorted by month and year. Sounds a little crazy, but I mean, I'm working to be a cannabis historian and document the pathway here. But then I realized, no, fuck that. And I had to feng shui that shit out of my life and just minimalize it. And
I do have some
a bunch of times, but
like Willie's Reserve. I have a couple jars still. There's like some shit that when brands like funked out, you're like, there's the story behind this one jar, but like most other shit, there's just a dime a dozen. But hey, I gotta go be an adult.
We're gonna wrap this up. So 86% here for our concentrate from GΑBRIEL. So until the next year, man, you guys have a happy new year.
Oh my God,
happy holidays, all of that.
Yes.
Thanks again. Talk to you guys later.
It's been great. Thank you.
Bro.
Thank you.
It was as always.
Peace.
How do cannabis CEOs balance growth and optimization strategies? What is THCO, Delta 10, and CBNA, and why should you care about these minor cannabinoids? And why isn't the endocannabinoid system covered in medical school? Most people think they're up to date in trends in the cannabis industry, but they're about 6 weeks behind. Learn about what is truly next in the cannabis space by joining myself, Brian Fields, and Kellen Finney every week on the Dime Podcast, and of course, on PodConnects.